Thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. You're going to be a part of the Pencil Volunteer Information sessions, where we're going to go over some volunteer opportunities that we have available at Pencil, this in the pipeline that's coming up, as well as some other engagement opportunities, and also dive in more in detail regarding the volunteer engagement opportunities that we have available, and hopefully get your questions answered today and have you feel as equipped as possible, to participate and encourage to engage. So this agenda today, we're just gonna, do a quick icebreaker. Excuse me. You're gonna learn a little bit about Pencil. We'll go over the volunteer opportunities as I mentioned. We'll talk about the volunteer role as it pertains to volunteering at Pencil in these sort of environments, the policies, and then we'll close with any questions that you may have, and I'll listen. We'll provide you some contact information as well. Okay, so these are the objectives of today. Again, it's just to equip you with as much information as possible, to get you to learn about the volunteer opportunities and encourage participation, not only yourselves, but folks that's within your networks or that's in your office. Learn a little bit more about what we do, right, and why the work that we do is important. Provide an overview of the volunteer expectations. So again, you feel equipped and prepared, as you step into a volunteer opportunity or opportunities. And then just talk about some other ways that you would get involved if you encouraged to. So first and foremost, my name is Charles Parker. I'm the senior manager here at Pencil, senior manager of growth here at Pencil. I started March of last year as a program manager and transitioned over to the growth team, to which is in my capacity now. My colleague, our colleague rather, Hannah Chan, she couldn't be on the call with us today, but she is the Associate Director of Programs. And I will pass it over to my colleague, Razaya. You could introduce yourself.
Hi, sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Razaya, and currently I'm the Associate Director of Summer Programs. So you'll learn a little bit more about the opportunity. And Samara.
Hi, everyone. My name is Samara Ahmed. I'm a program manager at Pencil, and I have quite a few different programs throughout the fall and spring, and I'll be talking about one of my programs here today. So thank you, everyone, for joining.
So much. All right. So again, just in the chat, if y'all could, this is our quick icebreaker. Just answer this fill in the blank. When I graduated from high school, I thought I would be blank within 10 years. And Desire Samara, you're more than welcome to engage as well. Let's put your answers in. I will put my answer in the chat.
I can say mine while we wait for folks to respond.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure. I think if I vividly remember, I thought I wanted to be a wedding planner when I was a teenager. So when I graduated from high school, I thought I was going to be that. Clearly, I'm here, so very different.
Okay to pivot. It's okay to pivot. You can still be a wedding planner, right? On the side. Potentially. So we have someone said filmmaker. Okay.
I'll jump in and share mine. I think when I graduated from high school, I thought I would be having 5 to 10 jobs based on all of my interest. So a writer, doctor, traveler, you could name anything, and I probably was interested in it and expected myself to be doing it.
Thank you, Charlotte. So I'm just going to share a few. So we have business owner, attorney, fashion designer, engineer. Yeah, so these are some great ones. So I think that this is a good segue, a good pivot into understanding why we do the work that we do, based on as far as our background, as far as like what we predicted and thought that we'd be doing and idealized for ourselves. It definitely is a good segue into talking about why the work that we do is important. So thank you for participating, everyone, in that. So first and foremost, a little bit about Pencil. So Pencil started in 1995. We're approaching 3 decades old. Since then, we have connected over 50,000 students to success by building partnerships that bring together professionals and students across New York City. So that's putting them in front of volunteers, that's connecting them to opportunities to either do summer internships or even post-graduation, high school and college, as well as skill attainment. So through our college and career readiness curriculum, through our industry specific partnerships, we've helped them build and attain skills to which is transferable for them to attain future opportunities in high-growing markets. Last year, this particular fiscal year, 2023 to 2024, we served over 2,000 students and engaged over 600 volunteers from across 166 businesses. And this is through our endeavors such as our school year and summer program offerings, as well as our flagship program, Principal for a Day, which is, when I say flagship, that's pretty much what set the table for the immersive in-person opportunities, for Pencil, to which that we built off of and grew our particular program offerings today. Essentially, our mission is to connect students to success, and we do that by opening eyes, opening minds, those to the New York City public school students. So our aim is to offer diverse professionals an opportunity to impact our students in three different ways, right? So that's development of relationships. So that's the whole idea about the volunteers, as far as why you play a pivotal role in participating in the opportunities. It's being able to speak to them. So as I mentioned, our icebreaker, why that was important is because imagine a high school kid, even a middle school kid, idealizing a career for themselves to which they think that they're going to attain when they get by a certain age. But at the same time, those steps, that journey, they don't necessarily have all that figured out. That's where the volunteers come in. You're able to share that journey is because the one experience that you do have is experience, right? You're able to share your journey. You're able to share the bumps in the roads, things that you learned along the way, and pass that on to the next student to minimize the bumps in the roads that they may encounter, but also at the same time for them to also avoid. Granted, they might run into new ones for themselves, but at least they had somebody there to which they can, have somebody guiding them and providing this pivotal feedback to help inform their journey, right? Then you also have the skill attainment, right? So again, the experience our volunteers have is the experience to which they've accrued over time, right? So that's being in a professional setting, that's writing resumes, that's interviewing for one job, multiple jobs, multiple opportunities, whether that's internships or even professional jobs, right? Writing cover letters, being able to network with folks in order to leverage a particular opportunity. Those are all key pivotal skills to which that our volunteers bring to support our students. While our staff, such as somebody mentioned, as far as the program managers, are delivering this content over the course of the school year, that's where the volunteers come in and pretty much optimize and enhance the experience for the students to which they can learn and acquire this information. And then the access to opportunities. So essentially, when they're connected to the volunteers, the students are learning more about different employment opportunities, different jobs, different career pathways, to which is more than just, for example, if we had a student who said they wanted to get into IT. What exactly does that mean? That's a broad umbrella. There's various different levels, there's very different key skills, certificates, knowledge, education they can improve over time. They can pivot, and it may fall under the umbrella of IT, but it helps them hone in and specify exactly what position, what sort of career in IT they want to have, right? And that's where the access to opportunities come in, because essentially those students that participate in our school year programs or our school year programs and our pre-employment training, essentially they're connected to the internships that provides them that opportunity. So anything that they learn through our programs, they're able to implement in real time at a professional setting. So as I mentioned, Principal for a Day was our flagship program, right? It created and set the table for our immersive opportunities by getting business executives, civic and business leaders in front of our New York City students, answering questions and being pretty much a mentor to them, and just being someone that they can identify as far as someone they might want to emulate their career, or at least it's somebody successful they can identify with and potentially learn more about, to which that generates an interest, motivation, enthusiasm to learn more and take their career journey, their career exploration journey more seriously. Then we pivot to our school partnerships, to where, again, this is the school year partnerships, to where over the course of 6 to 7 sessions, we're going to college and career readiness curriculum with students that will cover resume building, interviews, networking, branding, or it's industry specific, to where, as I mentioned, as far as IT, in some cases we've had programs to where it was industry specific, like students building our app to respond to a particular challenge, and then they're honing those skills, and they're doing so through a team environment and as an individuals, to where they're learning how project management in real time. They're learning key IT skills and coding skills, and that's just some of the ways. This is some of the modes of school partnerships that we have. Then we have our internship opportunities, which is through our Lattice for Leaders program, and those are the opportunities to which, again, we're actually subcontracted through DYCD to provide these internships to students, to where our companies that's within our portfolio that supports Pencil as far as offering these opportunities. This is where they obtain those opportunities to pretty much implement those skills that they learn through our school year programs into these internships and carry them on. And we also optimize the experience by providing pre-employment training, which Isaiah is going to cover as well. Okay, so this is the benefits of volunteering. So essentially, it's volunteering is broad, but in the sense of volunteering as a Pencil volunteer, you're providing key information, expertise in areas that improves the students' self-confidence and their self-esteem, their self-confidence, right? As well as the outlook of themselves and what they bring to the table. So for me, again, as I say, when I started last year as a program manager, some of the students had issues as far as rather challenges as far as building a resume after not really having approved actual work experience. So that's where we talk to them, and that's where the volunteers are crucial, and talking to the students as far as helping them to think about things that they do. So how many of you have a sibling? How many of you had to babysit? How many of you have taken on responsibilities such as cooking for a sibling, cooking for a loved one, or things of those natures? Those things are transferable skills to which that you can put on a resume, and that helps boost their self-esteem and help them look at themselves like, okay, I do bring something to the table. It's probably not as much as a seasoned volunteer, as a seasoned professional, but essentially there's stuff that I do bring to the table, and I can obtain a position, or I can obtain a job in this particular industry. So the experience for volunteers is a matter of learning about the challenges students face today. So things to which that we might have faced when we were in school, in college, or when we were just growing up might look differently than what the students face today. Those are the stories that's crucial, and again, that is essential to you building rapport with the student, understanding how you can support them and help them through whatever they're going through, but also essentially just help them to attain success, right? Connecting with students that will benefit from their guidance. So again, as I shared, as far as the experience that our volunteers have is experience. So it's bringing that to the table, sharing that with the students, and helping them to, again, idealize a career for themselves, or a career path to where, again, it minimizes the bumps in the road. Then we also have ways as far as shaping and cultivating the future of professionals of tomorrow. Again, Principal for a Day, student sees a particular Principal for a Day volunteer participant. They see themselves as that, but they potentially see themselves as that particular executive, as that business leader, as that civic leader, right? So from there, that opened their eyes to like the potential to which of what they can attain and what's available to them, right? And then again, all the 3 outcomes that we look to hit on can help them reach that potential. And then lastly, it reinforces a sense of purpose and value for the students, right? So this lets them know, again, reminds them that they do bring something to the table. They do have, as future professionals, they do have value, and they can bring that to the table. And it's just a matter of making sure that they see it, but also providing them the skills to connect them to success and to reach those goals. Okay, so the 2 opportunities right now that we're going to talk about more in depth is our Launching Leaders program. which is our program that's connected with NYU, and that's working with the students in Marvin Van Buren High School in Queens. Essentially, approximately, it's about an hour and 30 minutes of a time commitment. But it could go more or less depending on, because sometimes volunteers stay back, they talk to the students have additional questions. And that's if this space allows it, right? So if if nobody's saying like, everybody has to leave at a particular time, at certain points of times, the volunteers are able to hang back, talk to the students, especially if the students have more questions that they didn't get to ask during the session itself. Then we have our Ladders for Leaders, our pre-employment training, which is for our students that prospective interns, 16 to 24 years old. They come from various different backgrounds, various different high schools. Being a part of our school year partnerships is not a prerequisite for them to be Ladders for Leaders students. Essentially, everyone can apply for Ladders for Leaders as far as 16, falling in between the age range of 16 to 24. The sessions last between 1 to 2 hours, and that's where the career panel piece will come in, which Razia is going to talk about as well. And right now, I'll pass it over to Samara to talk a little bit more about Ladders for Leaders.
Great, thank you so much, Charles. So in talking about launching for leaders, just to kind of provide some foundational information, this is a 3-year program with NYU School of Professional Studies with the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders at Marvin Van Buren High School. And it is a really interesting program because the 10th graders get exposed to career and college awareness and readiness skills, and I'll talk about that in a second. And in 11th and 12th grades, students, we still have touch points with them to continue to build those skills with them, to continue to connect them with business professionals. But their main focus in 11th and 12th grade is to earn college credit for free through NYU's program, and also creates a really wonderful and affordable pipeline for students to join NYU, complete their degree based on 2 degree pathways that I'll talk about as well. So what the 10th graders really do, and this is the area where mentors and volunteers can really step in, is those monthly sessions that happen. A session is like a workshop that occurs for like about an hour and a half. It's a combination of getting to know students, the students get to know the volunteers, breaking out and discussing some type of topic, either on college or career readiness or awareness, like interviewing, resume development, networking, professional communication, public speaking, professional expectations, how to show up in these professional environments, and beyond. And then there's small group activity. Sometimes students can bring in, like, we'll do some pre-work for the session, like bringing a resume. And it's an opportunity for volunteers to share their professional and personal expertise. And volunteers can bring anywhere from a year to 40 years of experience to the session, which is really, really invaluable for students. And then for the 11th and 12th graders, the touch points can be one-off sessions as well. That's a little different, kind of similar to what we do with our internship students in the summertime, where students may meet like volunteers from a variety of different backgrounds. It may be a little bit more focused to build on and train those students on a skill. So instead of like resume development, it might be resume review and feedback. Instead of learning about how to interview or best practices, it might be practicing mock interviews, anything like that. And then the 2 pathways that I wanted to share that NYU hosts classes for are along the business track and the information systems management track. So students who are really interested in business, who are interested in IT, technology, who actually, even students who may be interested in healthcare or finance, or writing, research, anything like that, they can really bring their interest to this program, and volunteers can really bring their interest and expertise to this program as well, because there's, there's so much overlap, and a business can hold a variety of different teams, departments, in different roles, which is really, I think, has proven invaluable for the students last year when we did the program. And we hope to bring that to the students this year as well. So I'm sorry if I rambled on. I'll throw it back to you, Charles.
Oh, that was great. Thank you, Samara. Okay. And folks, if you have like any other questions, again, like I said, towards the end of the presentation, we'll definitely have make space for questions. Okay, so this I'll pass over to Razia. Razia, if you could speak a little bit more about Lattice for Leaders, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. So, hello again. So I oversee the Lattice for Leaders program. If you know of all some programs that go on in New York City, it's under the umbrella of SYP, but is slightly different in terms of eligibility and job opportunities that's provided. But essentially, it's a career readiness training program that provides internship opportunities for all New York City high school students and college students, again, that range of 16 to 24 students. I think on the side, it just breaks down kind of like, again, the umbrella of where the program falls. So we work with and under the New York City Department of Youth and Community Development. Then there's the Summer Youth Employment, SYP program, and then Lattice for Leaders falls on that umbrella. And then what you see below that is Pencil, and then to some other providers that also do and participate and do the same thing in placing students over the course of the summer. Can go to the next one. So the opportunity that we have specifically with this program is our Lattice for Leaders pre-employment training. So all students essentially have to go through training before they can go into an internship. So this previous year, students had to do a minimum of 20 hours of training. This year it might change, but essentially everyone has to go through that process. So we have a variety of sessions like digital brand, resume review, interviewing, and then these specific sessions that we typically need volunteers for is the career panel and then mock interview and resume review. Career panel is self-explanatory for the most part, but obviously giving students the opportunity to meet different professionals and different careers to, one, expose them to different and new opportunities that they might not be aware of, and ask folks different questions, their paths, so that they can learn more of what possibilities there may be. And then we have mock interview and resume review, where students get the opportunity to practice their interviewing skills as well as reviewing their resume, because ultimately they essentially have to go through that same process to get a job or internship. They have to interview after a site reviews their resume. So we want to make sure that they're prepared for that opportunity. I think I have the next one. So again, some of the eligibility requirements for students to enter the Lattice for Leaders program. Currently, they have to be a high school, college, or post-grad student between the ages of 16 to 24 years old. They have to be currently enrolled in school. Right now, there is no GPA requirement. There used to be. They have to have prior sustained volunteer and or work experience. Obviously be a legal resident allowed to work in New York City, and then being available for the 6 weeks, at least 25 hours per week between July and August. Go to next. And Charles, I think you can do that one.
Yes. So again, so this is where Pencil we work with hundreds of different New York City employers, and this is where again the relationships and the companies that we recruit and the folks that we recruit are pivotal to providing these opportunities for students. So there's going to be a portion later to where speak about like other ways to which that you want to get engaged. But again, this is just one of the ways in which we help supply student internship opportunities. Okay. All right. So these are the dates as of right now. You might have, again, thank you for those who signed up for any one or more of the particular dates for the Lattice for Leaders Pre-Employment Training Career Panel, right? These panels, I mean, again, as I mentioned, as we're getting ready to ramp up for summer. We're getting more information every day from EYCD regarding plans for summer youth employment and for Ladders for Leaders. So panels, the dates and times might be subject to change, and that's based on a bevy of different factors. But as of right now, based on prior experience, 2 p.m. has been the start time. All the career panels will be held in person, and these are right now the certified in-person dates for our career panels. So these are the launching leaders. So this is the program to which Samara was talking. So this is where it's pivotal for volunteers to be in person at Martin Van Buren High School, providing those invaluable lessons, experience, stories, sharing that with students. There's 4 particular dates. Thank you again to folks who signed up for any one or more of these particular dates. Again, it's about an hour and a half commitment. And it's, again, interfacing with the students at Martin Van Buren High School. And this is as, Samara is providing the curriculum to any one of the topics, such as resume, networking, interviewing, and things of that nature. Samara, can you just speak to this? Can you pick this up as far as speaking to a volunteer role and just the experience and what they come to experience?
Sure, thank you. So I'll just jump in here. So volunteer role is pretty dynamic. Prior to the session, volunteers will review any session materials, agendas, and expectations for participation. This is really to prep volunteers for the session. Support Pencil and school staff by sharing feedback and industry expertise. Really, the commitment involves a lot of conversation, and we're always open to volunteer feedback, experience, especially volunteers who have volunteered with youth before. During sessions, we request that volunteers be present and participate consistently and enthusiastically. Please give students your undivided attention during the session and embrace diversity and meet students where they are. I'll just point, Charles had mentioned storytelling, and storytelling is really, really important. And it is definitely a two-way street. We want to have students share their story and volunteers share their story and find that connection. So we can go to the next slide. To cover some Pencil policies, for Pencil volunteers, they must maintain the confidentiality of all students. They may never be alone with or contact a student outside of planned Pencil activities. If there's any questions around this, we can always discuss that a little bit more. Pencil volunteers may not promote partisan politics, religious matters, or other affiliations. Pencil volunteers should be committed to creating an environment where all individuals, regardless of race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status, feel welcome. And some of the prep work prior to sessions is really to give volunteers the tools and space to be ready to communicate with students coming with a variety of different backgrounds. And we also prep our students as well to be respectful of volunteers' backgrounds. So just to cover, all business volunteers are subject to an annual search of the New York State Public Registry of Sex Offenders. If there's any questions around this, please feel free to raise your hand, put it in the chat, or you can email us afterwards. We can go to the next slide.
Thank you, Samara.
Sorry,
yeah, I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Go.
I was just going to say, for additional opportunities, principal for a day is May 15th. I know May seems far away, but I feel like we're already through November. So just keep that in mind. It's a wonderful opportunity to connect to a school. If there's something that really speaks to you, like if there's a high school that you wanted to connect with, or a specific group of young people, or there's something that's really resonates with you, please connect with us, and we'll do our best to connect you to a school like that. Internship hosts, we're currently in the process of recruiting. If you're excited to host a young person in this professional way, we can definitely discuss how you can do that. And this is for the summer. Sponsorship for programs and point of engagement opportunities. This is always ongoing. So like we mentioned, our programs can run from the fall through spring. There's also points of engagement that can be anywhere from, like, let's say 2 to 4 sessions, spread out. Those are more flexible. And Charles, I'll throw it to you if you wanted to add anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Samara. So yes, as Samara mentioned, just just adding more context to some of these opportunities. So again, Principal 4 Days, May 15th. What precedes that is the summit, to which is always the day before. And again, it just gives our Principal 4 Day volunteers to get a chance to meet some of the educators and some of the principals of the schools they might be attending the next day, or even just meeting the education community and just again creating community that way to learn and discuss how to support students further. Internship hosts, as Samara mentioned, always recruiting. So if you do have an intern, you do want to host an intern, or you do feel like that your company or even yourself might have the bandwidth, that's something you can definitely reach out to us as well. And the point of engagement opportunities, that's also a part of our program offering portfolio, to which, as Samara said, it could be 2 to 4 sessions, but it also could be as just one single session. So for example, if you wanted to do one particular day to where you yourself wanted to invite your colleagues to hold a career panel, if not at the school, but maybe a visit to the office at your company, that can be a way as far as like you're achieving the mission of helping us connect students to success and opening their minds and their eyes and the doors to opportunities. Okay. So again, if you have not as of yet, any of these opportunities speak to you, the link that I sent you as far as when you were registering for the information session, the opportunities for the Martin Van Buren NYU Martial Leaders Program is up there, as well as the dates for our career panels. You can sign up for as many as you like, or as little as you like. Again, we welcome all, and we appreciate everyone's participation in helping our students connect to success. And I think after that, that's well, okay. If you have any questions or want to reach out to us as far as partnerships, single duty opportunities, sponsorships, or fundraising, our VP of Growth, Anjali Singular, could be reached at the corresponding email address. If you want to speak to me about any further volunteer opportunities, or even our Principal 4 Day, which in short is we call PFAD internally, you could definitely reach out to me at any point in time. And if you want to learn more about internships, that's for leaders, hosting an intern, and how you would get engaged in that way, or even get your company engaged, you can reach out to our colleague, Carly, whose email is here at the bottom.